it's important that we address the irresponsibility and recklessness that got us into this mess in the first place. Some of it was the result of an era of easy credit. But even as we work tirelessly to dig our way out of this hole, it's important that we address what led us into such a deep mess in the first place. Finally, seniors who fall into the gap in coverage known as the donut hole will receive $250 to help them pay for their prescriptions. Senior citizens who fall into the prescription drug coverage gap known as the donut hole will start receiving a $250 rebate to help them afford their medication. Aside from providing real, tangible benefits to the American, but the truth is, the recession from which we're emerging has left us in a hole that's about 8 million jobs deep. Seniors who fall into the donut hole, the gap in Medicare Part D drug coverage, are eligible right now for a $250 rebate to help cover the cost of their prescriptions. Now, we'd be digging ourselves into an even deeper fiscal hole and passing the burden on to our children. Because the hole that we're still digging out of means that there's still millions of Americans looking for work, often because they've been laid off through no fault of their own. Then, to keep from blowing a hole in the deficit, they'd have to raise taxes on middle-class families with kids. During a recession of this severity, it is important, as I explained, for the government to step in and fill the hole in demand that was created by consumers and by businesses to get the economies kick-started. But
this economy normalizes and the financial markets normalize. Jim is quite right. We can't live on consumption. We've got to fill up that hole in consumption with investment, which will make us more internationally competitive.
The fact is, it took a long time to dig ourselves into this economic hole. It's going to take some time to dig ourselves out. But the reckless fiscal policies of the past have left us in a very deep hole. And you know what that means? That means that senior citizens who right now have a so-called donut hole in their plan, where after spending a certain amount on prescription drugs, suddenly they drop off a cliff and they've got to pocket the entire cost. Suddenly, half of that is filled.
My question to you, Mr. President, is that will you support the legislation that is currently being introduced in the House to close the donut hole over the next several years?
Well, I'm going to do more than that for you. In our health.
So those who are on Medicare have told us that how the Part D donut hole is actually hurting them.
Consequence, seniors are way overpaying. There's that big donut hole that forces them to go out of pocket. We have an agreement from drug companies to make prescription drugs more affordable for seniors. $80 billion that can cut the donut hole that seniors have to deal with on prescription drug plans